Back now on the Triad today, I was looking over my magazine here, Black Business Inc. If you don't have it, you need to get it. We'll give you a website later on where you can get it, Black Business Inc. Why am I holding that up, by the way? I'll tell you why. Because we have three special guests with us that are going to help us honor some outstanding leaders who passed away in 2020. On my right, Richard Williams, of course, publisher of Black Business Inc. And we welcome him back after a 6-year absence. Good to have you back. David Daggett and Griff Shuler are partnered back behind us, socially distanced from Daggett Shuler Law Firm, and we appreciate you guys being here.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm going to start, just as a note to the crew, I'm going to start with David. You recently wrote an article for Richard's magazine, and you made some comments about a few outstanding leaders that you missed that passed away in 2020. One was Vivienne Burke.
Yeah, all three of those are personal friends of mine. Vivienne Burke, you know, we all saw her in public and on the news and that sort of thing. I had the opportunity to get to know her personally. Whenever we were at community events, I sat with her and had a meal with her. She was always so kind and gracious to me, and I have wonderful memories.
Well, and you know, Jim, one of the biggest legacies that you have as a parent is what you leave to your kids, and she has a great legacy to the legal community in her son, Judge Burke.
Right, absolutely. Greg Davis, David.
Yeah, Greg Davis was 10 years older than me. So he was a young lawyer when I was a new lawyer, and when I was wandering into criminal court, told some of those stories earlier, Greg would help me. He went on to become the federal public defender. Greg and I maintained a good relationship all these years. We each chaired various committees for the North Carolina Bar Association. We always worked on each other's committee to bring another perspective. Greg always did that in such a gentlemanly and human manner. I just love Greg. Beautiful wife and daughters.
All right.
Miss him.
Let's go to Dr. Larry Hopkins.
Yeah, Larry, he was on the board of our Safe Sober Prom Night program, along with his wife, Beth. She's a lawyer. And Larry was one of the first black OB doctors in our community. He was also just a football star at Wake Forest, had records back in the day, that sort of thing. Gregarious smile, had such a positive impact.
You knew Larry too, right?
Yeah, a great legend of Wake Forest, Jim. And he was very instrumental in the community. And a little nugget concerning him, he actually was the doctor that delivered Chris Paul.
How about that? How about that? Well, I didn't know that. It's nice tribute. Richard, let me go to you because we don't want to run out of time. You want to mention a couple people. One was a friend of mine, Vic Johnson, who we mentioned a couple weeks ago, and Tom Trollinger. Give me something on that.
Well, Vic served an unprecedented 22 years on the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board, just an institution in the community, and he also was a former educator himself. And he also, just last year, the city recognized the 60th anniversary of the sit-in movement that he and several others in Winston-Salem started on North Liberty Street when they went and sat in the Woolworths. So he was an institution, as was Tom Trollinger. Tom Trollinger started out in teaching as well, went to corporate America, left corporate America as an assistant vice president of purchasing at Wachovia, went into business for himself, had one of the largest minority-owned contract office furnishing businesses in the Southeast. But the interesting thing, Jim, that each of these individuals that I just mentioned and what Griff and David mentioned as well, was they were not only leaders that blazed trails, they were mentors who also brought someone along with them on that trail.
Right.
So when you look at the school board, when you look at businesses in the community, Tom Trollinger's fingerprints, Vic Johnson's fingerprints are all over them. And I'm included in that.
I'm included in that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be who I was without
all
them.
of us. All right, time's just about getting away from us. Very quickly, Richard, what's coming up in the magazine?
Well, right now, the one you just held up, we did a profile of Skip Austin, who was one of the co-founders of the Civil Rights Museum Center in Greensboro. And in March, we're focusing on the 130th anniversary of North Carolina A&T State University, which is the largest HBCU in the country.
Looking forward to it. Up on screen, blackbusinessinc.com. Be sure to put a K in there. It's not a C. blackbusinessinc.com. Please check that out. And if you need some help and advice and need to contact the guys, Daggett Shuler, go to daggettshulerlaw.com or call 724-1234. Gentlemen, will you come back sometime? This was a great assembly. I appreciate your work.
Thanks, Jim, and thank you, Richard.
Thanks,
Thank
Richard.
you, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll be right back. Get your magazine.